Hey guys, Cody with Evolution Personal Training. I just wanted to briefly answer a question a client had regarding a news story that's been making the rounds here recently. The idea that a calorie is always a calorie regardless of source, and there's no need to draw a distinction between good calories and bad. Now, before I jump out and say yes or no, you need to make a distinction, let's look at this equivalency I've put together. Now, here in this graphic, we see that 1 kilocalorie, or a big C calorie, if we were to handwrite it, is equal to $1. Now, in this economic system, a perfect economic system, if you're like me and you like to buy gas, 1 gallon of gas can be purchased for $1. Hey guys, Cody with Evolution Personal Training. I just wanted to briefly answer a question a client had regarding a news story that's been making the rounds here recently. The idea that a calorie is always a calorie regardless of source, and there's no need to draw a distinction between good calories and bad. Now, before I jump out and say yes or no, you need to make a distinction, let's look at this equivalency I've put together. Now, here in this graphic, we see that 1 kilocalorie, or a big C calorie, if we were to handwrite it, is equal to $1. Now, in this economic system, a perfect economic system, if you're like me and you like to buy gas, 1 gallon of gas can be purchased for $1. Now, this equivalency right here is very important. That dollar's value in the economy as a whole is predicated on it being able to get a solid gallon of gas. And that gas can be purchased right now for $1 because of outside factors, such as the ease at which we can get that gas and how easy it is for that gas to be gotten from where it's acquired to the place you'd actually purchase it. There are, of course, other factors, but I'm not an economist, and I've never heard an economist that could answer exactly what sets the value of a gallon of gas. But in this system, $1 can get you 1 gallon. Now, in this system, some outside influence has changed the value of that gas. Now, instead of getting 1 gallon of gas for $1, you can get a half gallon of gas for $1. Now, in this system, because we've just established that this equilibrium between the value of $1 and a gallon of gas can exist, we're going to naturally extrapolate something. That eventually you can see a decrease in that value of that dollar from a full gallon of gas to a half gallon to a quarter to an eighth, etc., etc. That is something that can happen. Now, this is very important when understanding your metabolism because the same thing can happen in your body. 1 calorie can become less or more valuable based on a few things. How you get it, how your system responds to the source from which that calorie came, and your ability to uptake those calories. Now, let's look at first the sourcing of the calories. If you're eating what I would call good foods, or what most people would call good foods, you're going to have a very efficient gut bacteria. You're going to be able to break down your food very completely. You're going to be able to get not only the calorie out of the food that you eat, you'll also be able to get the micronutrients. You'll also have the correct hormonal responses to those foods. With those correct hormonal responses, with the right balance of gut bacteria, the right gut efficiency, you're going to have an easier time. You're going to be much more efficient in how you take in those calories. Now, if something changes and you're eating calories from a source I would consider less than good, you're probably going to see a change in your gut bacteria. They'll become less likely to break down and help you digest the nutrients that you're eating. You'll get fewer micronutrients, and you're much more likely to have allergic responses not only to things to which previously you had no responses. You're also much more likely to have a stronger response to things you were having a response to and you may not have noticed. So, before we get into the science and I overcomplicate this and make myself sound a little bit more simple than I already have, let me say it like this. Yes, quality of your calories is important without certain outside influences. In particular, if you're a bodybuilder or a powerlifter, because you're exposing your body to such heavy loads, in particular 80% or greater of your 1 rep max, and you're much more insulin sensitive, or if you're using things like exogenous testosterone, and I apologize for how I just mispronounced that, or any other type of drug that influences your ability to take in hormones or to manipulate hormones, your ability to produce testosterone, your ability to build and maintain muscle, then you're not getting the most value out of your food if you're eating bad food. So, super simple. If you want to lose fat and you're not lifting super heavy at least 3 to 4 times a week, eat mostly clean. Try and have a cheat meal so we can balance out the leptin and the ghrelin, and we can spike your insulin every once in a while without keeping it super elevated through that 6 meals a day thing, which again is only useful for very specific populations. If you're trying to lose the body fat, if you're trying to be athletic, if you're trying to enhance your brain function, your heart, your lungs, If you're trying to inhibit certain allergic responses, eat mostly clean foods. If you're not, have a blast. Guys, I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you later on this week.